Good evening and welcome to this forum addressing the question, if water is life, what do we do when it runs out? My name's Peter Mayers. I present the weekly policy discussion program, The National Interest, on ABC Radio National, and I'm delighted to be the MC for this sixth forum in the series One Just World, Think, Talk, Act on Global Poverty and Development. I helped kick off the series at this same venue back in July, a very different night, a very cold and rainy Melbourne winter evening rather than the lovely spring evening we have tonight. And then we talked about climate change and development. Since then, the One Just World has gone on the road and events have been held in Adelaide, Canberra, Perth and Sydney, discussing issues like food security, human rights and gender. And this national series of free public discussions is sponsored by the Australian Government's International Development Agency, AusAid, in partnership with the International Women's Development Agency and World Vision Australia. And the organisations are joined by a university partner in each city. And in the case of Melbourne, our partner is the Globalism Institute at RMIT University. Respecting the rights and contributions of Indigenous peoples is a key strand in international efforts to promote the rights of all people in and through development. And I'd like to acknowledge that we're meeting on the traditional lands of the Kulin Nation, in particular the Wurundjeri and Bunurong people, and we pay our respects to their elders past and present. The One Just World series is about providing a space for ideas and conversations about some of the big development issues and how these might be addressed. It's also about enabling you to question people involved in the process of development, to make your own suggestions and find out about some of the ways in which you can get involved. The focus of this forum is water and sanitation, and it coincides with an international conference that's brought a wealth of experts and practitioners to Melbourne, and we're delighted to be joined by four leading international figures in the field. Clarissa Brocklehurst from UNICEF, Andre Dukas from the UN Habitat, Pauline Comelong from Oxfam and Jae So from the World Bank. And I'll introduce them to you more fully as they come to speak. I should also mention that ABC Radio National is recording this event for possible future broadcasts, so if you haven't done so already, please turn off your mobile phones. You might not be aware that 2008 is the International Year of Sanitation. Most Australians have long taken for granted the fact that they have access to safe drinking water and to a flush toilet. But as the drought across southern Australia drags on and on, we've begun, all of us I think, to consider much more carefully the ways in which we use water, to think more critically about it. So perhaps we're just beginning to get an inkling about what many people face around the world globally, the fact that water and sanitation are issues of daily survival, issues of life and death. More than 1 billion people have no access to safe, clean water. 2.5 billion people lack access to improved sanitation. 1.2 billion have no sanitation facilities at all. And water and sanitation go hand in hand, of course, because without effective sanitation you can't have clean water. They're fundamental to health, to gender equity, to economic development and to human security. So where should our priorities be? What investments will make the most impact on children's health or reducing the time that women spend carting and collecting water? How should we share and manage water resources to ensure fair access and to prevent or minimise conflict? These are some of the issues we'll be exploring at this forum.